Today's Wednesday, February 7th, 2018, and we are back after 2 weeks of being off.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, right, yeah. Okay, it's great to be here this morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the program today. As always, it is my absolute pleasure to bring the show to you today. Thank you for your patience. I've been sick with the flu for the last 2 weeks. It took out about 6 or 7 people at work, and I've not seen an illness like that travel so closely in a close location before ever. I've never had that here at work in the 20 plus years that I've been here. I was just shocked. And for the longest time, when you hear the news on regarding the flu being so bad, it was just one of those things where you never think it can affect you, but until it does, it was a doozy. I don't recall being sick for 2 weeks straight. Still have a little bit in my chest, but I'm going to be okay, thank goodness. And it's just been a long 2 weeks with people being off. You end up having to cover for them, filling in is needed. And when I was sick, I did come in. I did isolate myself in my office the best that I possibly could and trying not to spread it, which I did not do, and I was not the originator of the illness. As soon as word was out, within a day, we had disinfected pretty much the entire company, or as much as we possibly could have done. So it was, not good at all. So wash your hands. There's some degree of germs that we do need so our bodies can fight other illness and sicknesses. And that's one of the concerns that doctors have in how we disinfect ourselves constantly, which is required to ensure you don't get sick. But at the same time, we still need some of those germs so that our immune system can build up. But the kids today are not the same kids that we were growing up. I mean, we played in the dirt, we played in the sandbox, we played in all sorts of stuff. And some doctors actually say that those types of, playing outdoors really helped our immune systems in getting better. And I wouldn't doubt it. I can't tell you how much. I don't think I ate a lot of sand or a lot of dirt, but I remember what it tastes like. Doesn't taste very good. So anyway, just make sure you wash your hands, stay healthy as you possibly can, avoid public spaces. I know that's not always the easiest thing with so many of you who travel, but it is good to be here. On a little bit more serious note, over the weekend, my mom went into the hospital again, and so it's one of those deals where it's an issue that she goes through sometimes once a year as a result of her fight against cancer. So she's going to be okay, but the reality is that every time she goes in, it's not easy on the family. It's not easy on her, and we just are there as much as we possibly can. So I know many of you out there are friends or know of my mom, Dorothy Seibert, and so just keep her in your thoughts as you think about people who may need some extra good wishes. just keep her in your thoughts and keep you posted on that. So it's kind of a busy weekend coming off of being sick, and she's been through this. She's been down this path before, but just hoping that the recovery is quicker than it had been last time. So just want to give you a heads up on that. Got a good show for you today. 2 weeks of information and news to plow through, which we will do in record time today. We had some snow fall overnight, so getting to work in the studio took a little bit longer than normal, which is totally fine. And so we'll get into the news content next. And again, thanks for your patience. Again, thank you for all your emails, text messages, the phone calls. Appreciate. If I didn't call you back, apologize. Just been real busy trying to stay up with everything that needed to be stayed up on in the last 2 weeks. But it's good to be back. So thanks for your patience and your understanding. And we're creeping up on show 500. This is show 494, week of February 7, 2018. All right, up next we'll cover the news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
ABC Channel 7 News. Skip the ad.
Starting this February, the most exciting place.
Oh, and the most exciting place is going to be on the Elevator Radio Show. Yeah. ABC 7 Channel News. Repairman falls to his death in elevator shaft in Manhattan. I did cover this article or shared it with last week's program where I announced I wouldn't be doing a show. This is the first time I can recall that there have been 2 fatalities starting off the new year in the first month of the year, which is awful. In Kips Bay, Manhattan, an elevator repairman fell to his death in an elevator shaft Tuesday morning. This is last Tuesday, January 23rd. Terrible tragedy. 33-year-old man trying to repair an elevator at the construction site when he lost his balance and inadvertently fell from the 9th floor. Worker was employed by UTEC Elevator Incorporated. I just wonder when legislation is going to pass to ensure that those working on lifts are licensed, have the proper qualifications. I do not understand what the pushback is on this, especially in such a great city like New York. So let's do something. Let's make sure that all of our workers go back to their families each and every night. So terrible tragedy. I was shocked when I saw this because it is the second accident that occurred basically in 2 weeks, and we're a long ways of trying to prevent injuries like this from happening. Okay, San Francisco Gate reporting that a woman dies in a bar escalator fall in San Francisco. They are still trying to determine whether or not this woman had suffered some type of medical issue before falling. I'm not entirely sure if she fell over the side, but as we learn more, I definitely will share it to you as news is posted online. The video or the image of the article has a security video photo, so hopefully somebody has that and kind of determine what happened so that we can prevent things from happening in the future. Okay, rtwebsite.com, and this is kind of a news site, and this is kind of ties into the Olympics that are going to start soon. I don't know when that's going to be, but apparently Russian speed skater Olga Fatuklina says that doping allegations against Russia had formed a negative attitude towards the national team, with foreign rivals even refusing the same elevator as Russian competitors. Hello? Yeah, you wonder why? Cheaters suck. Got to tell you that right off the bat. Cheaters suck. Excuse my language. I would like to use stronger language than that, but you guys, doping allegations. And I don't want to hear the excuse that everybody does it, because there's a lot of people that just are submissive to that kind of attitude, and it's not right. It's, anyway, so hopefully everybody enjoys the Olympics when they open. Reality is that, nobody's going to share an elevator with you or wonder if anything you win was not done without the enhancement of performing enhancing drugs. Serious accident that occurred in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. At first, didn't have a lot of information on this, but as of late, there's a photograph of a freight elevator. It looks as if it's raised above in kind of an alley situation, a big freight car, maybe a dock, a loading type situation, but apparently a city man and his grandchild remain hospitalized with injuries they suffered in a fall down an elevator shaft Tuesday night at the building on Public Square. Names of the victims being withheld. It sounds as if the boy fell down the shaft. I'm not sure how he got into the shaft, and then the grandfather jumped down to try to help him and was injured in doing so, although details are not exactly clear. I don't quite understand how, like I said, the boy got into the shaft, and I don't think we'll find out after lawyers get a hold of this accident and have chased down these two injured parties, unfortunately. But I'm sure that state investigators will get to the bottom of it, make the necessary recommendations to ensure something like this doesn't happen, however it happened. Next news article, man gets leg stuck in escalator. Not every day you read something like this. Mainly it involves children, but apparently Upper Side in Manhattan, a man was seriously injured Wednesday.
Tonight, a horrific accident at an upper...
I'm so sorry if that blared your ears off. Anyway, you can read about that in the show notes. Link is there as well, along with photos. Not something you see every day, and how they describe what happened is not very clear. It's one of those deals where it sounds like somebody sat down, got caught, and then basically said, oh, the thing bounced or did something. I don't know the details, but you can check that out. Link is online. Okay, Massachusetts Elevator Safety Association, or Elevator Safety has a new website. Just check that out. And they also have information on how you can renew your membership. Also, their calendar events. The somebody from Harvard is going to be speaking, or may have already spoken this week. And you can check that out. Minnesota Elevator Solutions will be presenting next month, and then the state or local inspector will be presenting the month after that, based on what I can gather. Broken elevators causing agonizing lines. I went to college for a year at Columbia College downtown in Chicago. Anytime classes got out, holy crap, I took the stairs more often than not. But apparently at Baruch College, broken elevators have lines outside the building. My advice to you young people who can handle the stairs, take the stairs. That's my advice to you. And that will definitely happen. But can you imagine waiting for class? I had to go through that. And it wasn't exactly fun, but walking up 14, 15 flights of stairs is pretty good exercise. Makes you a little dizzy, but still not a bad thing to do. I don't know why we don't take stairways more often, to be honest with you. Okay, the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation annual general meeting. Those dates obviously have been set for a while. It's going to be in Tampa. Looking forward to that. Actually in the process of putting all the reporting together with Lori Dewitt, program director of the EESF. Looking forward to that. And once we have that completed, I will share the outcomes with what we've come up with in the plan moving forward with you the best that I can. I'm excited about it. There's a new executive level board coming on and some talented people that are going to take the EESF to the next level. So very excited about that. And it's time that I promote the foundation from the sidelines the best that I can after being involved with it since, I don't know, probably 2000, 2001 when my kids were little. So excited to pass the torch, so to speak. Okay, it's important that in today's day and age, when most of our kids are online, doing gaming, et cetera, somewhat isolated, sending Instagram things, and not really out in the real world, it's important that we teach our kids that there are sickos out here that want to lure kids into elevators or the cars and do God only knows what. But yeah, these are the kind of people that should not be walking around or on the earth, and unfortunately, they are out there. So teach your grandkids, teach your kids that to be very wary of people like this who are bad and evil, and what if things don't seem right, to tell an adult or to just get the hell away from some type of issue or situation like this. Okay, NewJersey.com has a kind of a cool article talking about a century-old elevator that has kept Trenton Battle Monument closed for years. It's got an old Otis controller in it. It's a neat facility. This is the monument where it marks the spot where George Washington's artillery was placed in 1776 to fire down the Hessian troops who were hiding in homes located on what were then the main streets of Trenton. So much history out west. I got to tell you. I mean, I know that in the United States, history is relative because we're somewhat of a newer, younger country, but the amount of history that is out east is just amazing. If you just drive around, you can find battlefields, you can find all sorts of stuff from the Revolutionary War and prior. So one of my favorite places to go is out in upstate New York, Pennsylvania area, and just drive around in the roads offshoot roads, see what's going on. You'll find plaques of bridges that are older than old. So just really cool out east. I wish Chicago had more of that kind of history when it comes to how our nation was founded, but it just doesn't have that same type of history. Carnegie Building gets lift, and this is in the Traverse City, Michigan area. Apparently, the Crooked Tree Arts Center in Traverse City is getting an accessibility boost in the form of a new custom-built elevator. Pretty neat. They're thrilled that it's happening. I'm sure it was a pretty big, significant price for the building and those of the facility. And Andrew Carnegie, who was a philanthropist, one of those guys that made his mark and built buildings and libraries everywhere across the country because he had probably more money than, in comparison to anyone back in the day. Well, maybe not anybody, but he had a lot of money, and he shared it, and he gave back to our nation and small towns everywhere. There's a Carnegie Library up in Hayward, Wisconsin that he helped build and found, and it was a small price to pay, if nothing else, just to see his name emblazoned on the building. Okay, if you're interested or you need continuing education credits, don't wait till the last minute like probably many of us do. Not us. I'm not saying me. I wait till the last minute on a lot of other things. I'm not QEI certified. But if you do need continuing education credits, check out the NASA International website. They got an upcoming workshop coming up. Excuse me. It's in Des Plaines, Illinois. I'm going to be a part of that. I got to register for it. There's some interesting programs that I want to sit in on to find out what's going on, but they've got other ones as well. So make sure you're not waiting until the end of the year, because there's no excuse for you going, I didn't get my education credits in, especially when you've got NASA there to assist with those requirements. Next news article, some worry about subway elevators and attacks. This is kind of an interesting one in New York City. Some high-rise residents.
When you've got gamers, HD movie streamers, and...
Yeah. Anyway, they're concerned about a glass elevator going in to serve the subway system and being a point of terrorism attacks, because it's one more entrance way to get in. But you got to balance that between those that need accessibility, need to get down to the subway station. So put everything in perspective. I think the reality of another attack happening is probably a little bit remote. I don't know, but especially with the heightened security in 9/11. But check that out. And I think more importantly is the accessibility of the subway system in New York City, and those that need that type of accessibility beyond what we who do not have an accessibility issue with could use. Okay, I'm not going to click on the next article because this guy's an idiot. But I did report on the first story that this sensationalist dude came up with, this reporter. I watched the piece, and again, let me just see if I can. I'll click on it. WUSA9.com, and this is regarding a news story in Maryland and how this reporter basically sensationalized just a bunch of stuff that really is not relevant. And this is what drives me crazy about reporters and investigative reporters in general. The facts that they pose 9 times out of 10 are not true, or they are just a fraction of what they want to convey to you. So in this piece, in this second piece, he comes across and says that legislation is in process to ensure that elevator maintenance tests are witnessed by an inspector. And my question, I've never heard of that before, elevator maintenance test. I don't know what the hell that is. Somebody explain to me what that is. What is that? So anyway, just led this. I led this this piece as huge idiot at it again, and yeah, you can feel free to give me a call, investigative reporter, or reach out to me, because I would suspect that you put probably close to a month into the original story that you had put together, and why don't you go and make a bigger difference in another genre or another issue, something that's actually relevant. Okay, Fire Engineering has an interesting piece regarding polling and elevator rescue. I'm surprised this is actually out online into the general public. Typically, you'd see this behind a firewall. But it talks about, for fire departments, what you should be doing. There's 11-step initial response procedure and what you should be doing as a firefighter. Number one is contact elevator mechanic and building management. That's huge right there. So read all the list of what should be done. Your best bet is always to reach out to the elevator mechanic. The safest place for you to be if an elevator has stalled is inside the elevator. I can't say that enough. Do not try to escape. Do not try to get out of the doors. Do not try to, if somebody opens the door on the other side and it's some innocent standby person who says, oh, I'll help you get out, do not do it. Wait for somebody. Wait to ensure that the space underneath the lift has been properly sealed off so that no under the elevator falls can happen and that everything is safe. Do not trust a good Samaritan to do that, and I don't think anybody would be offended by that. Okay, the International Association of Elevator Consultants Forum is approaching pretty quick, April 23rd to the 26th. To register online, do that. It's going to be held in Chicago. I will be at that event. Looking forward to that as well. It's been a while since they've been in Chicago, so but I am looking forward to it. And the last news article of today's show is ECS has opened, or ECS Corporation opens Western Regional Distribution Facility in Las Vegas, Nevada, looking to serve the West Coast with the products that they offer. So check that out. Link is in the show notes for more information. So nice to see them expanding. And that's going to do it for the show, everybody. I, again, appreciate you joining me today. It has been my absolute pleasure. And, again, thank you for all the well wishes, feeling much better. I hope everybody out in podcast land is feeling better as well and feeling okay. I'm going to hit the stop button, save this file folder, and then upload it to the interweb. And then also I will go and start my snowblowing adventure because it snowed last night, where I will enjoy snow plowing or snow blowing the sidewalk outside the building, and then also our dock, which is part of my job duties. So if you are out and about, if you have snow in your area, be careful driving. Think spring. We will talk to you next Wednesday. Thanks for joining today. Take care. Bye-bye.